Hey everybody, my name is Jared and I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America, and here still in the third section of the Entered Apprentice lecture we're now moving into a section that specifically talks about the jewels, and here it reads as this. The jewels of a lodge are 6, 3 movable and 3 immovable. The immovable jewels are the square, level, and plumb. The movable jewels are the rough ashlar, perfect ashlar, and trestle-board. The rough ashlar is a stone as taken from the quarry in its rude and natural state. The perfect ashlar is a stone made ready by the hands of the workman to be adjusted by the working tools of the fellowcraft. The trestle-board is for the master workman to draw his designs on. By the rough ashlar we are reminded of our rude and imperfect state by nature. By the perfect ashlar, that state of perfection at which we hope to arrive by a virtuous education, our own endeavors, and the blessing of God. And by the trestle-board we are reminded that, as the operative workman erects his temporal building agreeably to the rules and designs laid down by the master on his trestle-board, so should we, both operative and speculative, endeavor to erect our spiritual building agreeably to the rules and designs laid down by the Supreme Architect of the universe in the great books of nature and revelation, which are our spiritual, moral, and masonic trestle-board. So here we have two groupings of 3 different symbols. The first group being the immovable jewels, and then the other 3 being the movable jewels. So the movable jewels get spoken about a bit more. We talk about what they really mean already here in the lecture, but the immovable jewels not so much, at least not that I can share with you here. But here's a bit more information that I think we can kind of pull for this. I think maybe one question people might have that's not so much explained is, why are they movable? Why are they immovable? Or what do we exactly mean by that? Well, here's my take on it, and I'm interested to hear you share down below if your Grand Lodge or your body, your education committee, or anybody with authority has some other learning that you would like to share about this particular topic. What makes them immovable? What makes them movable? Here's my take on it. Here's what it means to me. The immovable jewels, the square, the level, and the plumb, are representative of the 3 principal officers of the lodge. They have to exist. Without those jewels, without those members, without those representatives, we cannot have a lodge. They're immovable. They're steadfast. They have to be there. They cannot change. Okay? But with the movable jewels, we're talking about a transformative process. We're talking about having that rude, crude stone that gets adjusted into something a little more refined and then gets completely squared off and is able to be used as was designed for by the master craftsman. So we're talking about moving in the sense of transforming something. I suppose you could maybe, in the sense of thinking about the building analogy that always gets used in Freemasonry, you could think about the rock physically being moved from the mountain and being transformed into something and moved to become a building. But I think, to me, more speculatively speaking, we're talking about that transformative property of bettering ourselves, and how that's movement, that's progress, that's change forward. So those are the things that I take out of this section while we're talking about the jewels of Freemasonry. So I told you at the beginning we would have a couple different items that lined up with each other and that we would start or get to the jewels, and here we are. So tell me what you understand about these jewels and about the ashlar. I think the ashlar is a pretty special symbol, and we talk about it more later, and we emphasize and expound upon it more in further degrees. So please try not to get ahead of the class, and if you have comments about what we're trying to draw from these symbols here in the Entered Apprentice degree, that's what I'm asking you to share down below. So improving ourselves and using the symbol of taking rough stone and making it ready to be put into a building, and applying that spiritually to ourselves so that we can be a part of that spiritual building. And I'll let you go read scriptures for things to explain more to you about that. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch, and more especially thank you for taking the time to leave your comments down below. I think you see I reply to almost every single one of them, so it means a lot to me that you leave those comments, and it means a lot to me that you're sharing these videos with your friends, with your brothers, your other acquaintances, and on your other social media platforms, and helping spread the word. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We'll see you next time. Bye.